Abundance Show and on Global Abundance Organization Television, GAO TV. And my chief guest today is Robin Hughes. And he is an innovator, he is transformative, he is life coach, he is a teacher, he is a transformer. And he is an author also, and he is a game geek, and he teaches English and changes mindsets positively, resulting lots of abundance. And over to you, Robin. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, so we are looking today. We're looking at doing an abundance show, right? On abundant mindset, and we're thinking about how we might go about it. We're looking at the name, and maybe we're looking at how we might structure it and things like that. So yes, I
Yeah.
think I think I think maybe if we look at briefly at maybe at your story, how did you come to abundance? How did you come to this idea of abundant mindset?
Okay. I mean, this is a question to me. Do it.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Thank you so much. Okay, the dear audience. In fact, what we are here sitting here. This setup is for to chalk out a framework. Since we will be launching our program on abundance from tomorrow, we'll be featuring this from Monday till Friday, every 7 to 7:30 Pakistan time and 9 to 9:30 Cambodia time. So that the we together, we both together will be co-authoring a book on abundance, and we'll be looking towards the possibility. In fact, abundance, to me, abundance is the to creating the world of possibilities. Like right now, we are talking. One person is sitting from in Cambodia, another in Pakistan, and Robin is in fact he's a New Zealander and he's Australian citizen, and I am Pakistani and I'm listening to Pakistan. Look at this. I mean, we are talking to each other. I mean, without, and he's like, I mean, we are just in front of each other. So what is this? 20 years earlier, it was not possible, but somebody thought it was possible. That thought side, that mindset is abundant mindset. The one whosoever who conceived at that point of time, that he conceived or she conceived the idea that let's make a world of possibility which is impossible right now. So if we talk of 20 years earlier, this was not possible. Now this is possible. That is abundance. Same way, right now we see countries fighting, we see people in conflict, we see nations in conflict, we see scarcity, we see there's power shortage, there is like a basic humanities problem, basic education. What I mean, now again we need to think for the next 5 years or maybe 3 years, that how can we supply the water, the clean drinking water? How can we convert the 8,000 times more energy that is the sun is getting us to the surface of the earth, that we are not capitalizing? How can we capitalize that solar energy? We need to make more solar panels so that we can get that energy. So that what we can do, we can use that energy for to avoid the wars that we all have always been hearing and listening to, that the wars gonna be on waters, the drinking clean waters. Why do we fight wars when we can have a lot of solar energy? Then we can create water out of air, we can just distill water, we can just what you call process the water, and we can make it drinkable. So I mean, that's it. That is what the creating possibilities world is called abundance to me, and this will make everybody abundant. If and the basic, there's Robin gonna tell us what mindset has to do with abundance, how abundance cannot be created until unless one has abundant mindset. So, Robin, over to you.
Well, my thoughts that were coming up is we as humans, we create limitations, right? We create limitations because there is all this abundance out there. We create limitations to help us to cope with the abundance, to be able to deal with and process the abundance. And I was thinking, like in the deserts, right? The deserts are the place where there's no water. And we think there's no water in the deserts, but actually there is. Right? There is water in the desert. Underneath the ground, there's water, right? And in the evening and the nighttime, there's water. So conceptualization is that of the limit being limitations, and we impose limitations to help us. When we go and we play games, we impose extra limitations in order to have fun and enjoyment and to do things. Whatever we do, we place limitations to create us a playground, to create us an environment for working and functioning and communicating and doing everything. So we're always putting limitations on things. And that has its benefits, right? It has its benefits, it has its purpose. The problem is when we have limitations, we believe in the limitations that aren't actually there. The limitations are frameworks in our brain that tell us that things are a certain way when they're not, right? So when people, in terms of communication, they think that people are a certain way and that cannot be changed and that's the way it is, then that's the end of it, right? Once we set a limitation and we set it as facts, and that's the way it is, we move on, and that's sad, right? Because we cannot work with the possibilities if we discard them. If we say that this is the way it is, and there's nothing beyond that, then we get stuck, and we get stuck within our box. It's interesting. I think they did some experiments with animals where they had them in cage, and when they move the cage, they still stay within the environment. They're scared to move out. So even after they remove all the limitations, boundaries, there's a safety net. And so the animals just stay in the same situation. They do not have the courage to move outside the barriers or to test it to find out that actually the barrier, the cage, the enclosure is no longer there, but they keep acting as if it is. And yes, so yeah, that was the thoughts that were coming up when you were talking about that. What came up is when thinking about entrepreneurship, which is entrepreneurs relating to starting businesses. The thing that one of the things I love about it is that when I think about entrepreneurship, I think entrepreneurs see problems as opportunities, right? And I think that's really beautiful, right? So I think that relate to when I'm looking at problems, I want to look at beyond the constructs, the boundaries, the limitations that we impose, and see if there is another way, if there's another way of doing things. And if you look at things in terms of abundance, we can say, hey, if there is abundance, these limitations that we set, are they true? Are they valid? Maybe they're valid to an extent, maybe there's validity in them, but they're not the complete picture. Maybe they have some use. Maybe they fulfill a purpose, but they're not, as long as they're not the full picture, we are missing part of the picture, and that part of the picture is what we need to solve, what we need to solve the problems, right?
Okay, I really appreciate what you said. I mean, it's all about limitation, that when you set your limits, your own limits, that these are the boundaries that you draw for yourself. And then since you think you can't just cross these boundaries, You can't push beyond the limit. That's why you don't. Like, I mean, an elephant kid, I mean, when it is born, small, the baby elephant, and there is a chain tied to it's one of the leg, in the foot, and it's tied to a nail or some. So it's tied with something. So it tries to pull this and push, and again he tries and tries and tries hard, and he keeps trying, and he give it a numerous tries, numerous countless attempts he does make, but he thinks, then he makes, he or she, it makes its mind that he or she, that baby elephant cannot pull this and can't go free. So when it grows up, its energy grows, its power grows, and if it is tied to the same chain and same what you call nail or whatever, it's tied to the same place, the same point. With a small, just with a small jerk, it can just pull it off, and it can get free. But since it think his mindset, its mindset, the old mindset tells it, no, you can't, you know. So whereas he can, he or she or whatever, the elephant can, since it's now it's grown up, it's whole with full power, it can just pull this off. But since it thinks it can't, therefore it can't. That's similar to us. I mean, when we think we can, we can. When we think we can't, we can't. So this is all about our mindset. Yeah, when we set our mind to a certain negative, we see negative, we hear negative, we process negative, we speak negative, we speak negative. This creates negativity in actions. So when this whole world, when there are opportunities in our front and comes, since we the mindset is all negative, it can't take any opportunity also, and our mindset tells, no, you can't do this. This is not for you. You can't do it. This is not for you. So we keep wasting the opportunities. Whereas the abundance is to create possibilities, to create opportunities. Go and get it. Go bold and go get it. That's abundance. Like if you, if a cat is not a flying animal, it is not. But if you just you could drop the cat from a 20-story building, 20-story building. That means 200 to 200 meter, whatever. If you throw that, its skins it becomes like a parachute, and it lands on Earth or the surface like a paratrooper. That is abundance. It is not made for flying, but it has got a function that it only it can use when it is thrown down. Otherwise, if you don't throw it for a whole its life, so this is world of possibilities. We do have a lot of functions, lot of things in ourselves that we do not know. Only if we are put to certain difficult position,
Yes.
only if when we are put into difficult exams and tough situations, be it medical, financial, mental, social, religious, whatsoever, or any when you are put to put under stress in any of the circumstances, it could be anyone. So then only those like that put paratroopers or the cat effect or any effect that comes, then you, oh, I can do this. I never thought of. You might never have known that you can be that patient. You could have never, but I mean, since you've been through stuff that you were there for yourself, none else was there, so you became brave, then fought back. You took it as a challenge and you did it. So that's it. That is abundance. Again, now to me, our mindset our mindset works like exactly like artificial and the AI tools, like we have Grok 3, DeepSeek, everything. What it does, you train chat gpt or whatever you use on cats, just show it 1,000 cats picture, and on 1001 picture show a picture of a dog. This gonna treat that dog as cat because it was trained so. So same similar. When we see negative, we hear negative, we process negative, we speak negative, we create negativity. Okay. So the similar is with us with our brains. So we need to we
Mm.
need to train our mind. We need to train our we need to just we got to go limitless. We need to bring it home that since the God has made you an excellent super human being, you are the super machine in the entire universe. None other better any creation than creation. You are the super best creation of the God, and you've been your structure is best of the best one. Your mindset in everything. Like I mean, you can you this body can live in frozen, cold, snow-covered areas, and otherwise maybe on 58-degree temperature, also on like scorching heat too. This is such a super body. So this similar in our mindset. Even if you're free, you've got abundance of everything, you can enjoy life. And even if you are in certain conditions, still, if you think, you can make your life even accepting reality is another way of living happier life. So you can make that happier too. You can make it easier, better too. So over to you. What do you say?
So we make our life very difficult when we have a negative mindset, or we restrict things, and when we can say we have a poor mindset or poverty mindset, or we have a fixed mindset, or whatever word you want to use for it. We make it very hard for a negative mindset. We make things very hard for ourselves when we think in terms of what we can't do, and we think in terms of limitations. When I was young, I used to practice falling over. I don't know. I just feel like doing it, right? Like I thought, well, if I fall over, this is fun, and if I get good at falling over, then when something happened, I fall over, then I won't hurt myself because I know how to fall over. I'm good at it, right? I'm good at falling over, right? So with a cat, when they land, they relax, and they distribute the force, and they do the right things so that the impact is it doesn't affect them much. So when like we camped in a paddock where there were lots of rabbit holes. So some people always fall in a hole, right? And then they fall over and they hurt themselves. Me, when maybe I'm not paying attention, my foot go into the hole, right? And I keep walking, right? Or keep running because I practiced it, and rather than thinking, I hurt my ankle, and I thought like this, whereas somebody else, right, they don't think like that, and every time they go on and fall into a rabbit hole, they twist their ankle, right? Every time, right? You can just about guarantee sometime they're going to go into the rabbit hole and they're going to twist their ankle, right? And a different mindset of seeing like opportunity and seeing that you can relax, right? When you relax, the cat relaxes. It's very important. When something bad happens, we tense up. We tense up and we restrict our motion. And when we hit, we break our bones, or we really hurt ourselves, right? Because we're not working with how things are. We're not relaxing and allowing things to happen in a natural way. So when I fall in the hole, I just keep going, my motion keep going, and I'm fine, right? I don't need to fall over. I don't need to have that some on my foot that twists it and hurts it. Everything just keep going, no problem, right? So when we're dealing with problems and difficulties and limitations, we create a lot of the problem for ourselves. We do a lot of things the hard way. I have done so many things the hard way in my life, right? I've done so many things because I didn't know, right? I didn't know, and I thought if I just work harder, if I try harder, then I will succeed, right? Because that's what people say. They say you just need to, maybe you're lazy. maybe you're not succeeding because you're lazy. And I'm like, I'm not lazy, but I still try harder anyway, right? And what happened? I just have more and more problem. I have more and more difficulty. So what we need to do is think a bit more smart, right? We need to think more about, we open our mind up to the possibilities of what we can do. Because just in that scenario, my approach of curiosity and imitation, I imitate what the animals do. I wonder about what if happened if I did this. And I try something, right? And it worked. And I'm like, this worked. This is good.
That's abundance. That
Yeah.
you try, and then you can create this possibility. So tomorrow, our first episode would be on how our mind works. First, we need to understand. So we'll be talking on how our mindset works tomorrow. Until
Yes.
unless we do not know how it works, we cannot play with this. We cannot change this. First we need to understand how on what logics it works. So
Yes, good.
till then, see you tomorrow. Your
Yes.
9 and my 7 o'clock, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.